What is consciousness? And what does it mean to truly live life awake? Welcome to Clarity to Consciousness, a podcast where we transcend beyond stereotypes, embracing a deeper understanding. I'm your host, Kristen Griffiths, a fellow seeker on this path. Join me on a journey as we dive into conversations with experts, unraveling stigmas, and expanding our awareness to something profound. This is your invitation to open your mind with me as together we bring clarity to the fascinating complexities of human consciousness. Welcome back to the Clarity to Consciousness podcast, the show where we explore and clarify the vast and often mysterious terrain of human consciousness. I'm your host, Kristen Lee Griffiths, and today's conversation beautifully merges the physical and the spiritual, where art meets awakening. I first knew my guest today as an internationally acclaimed dancer, choreographer, and a creative visionary, someone who has performed on some of the world's most iconic stages, from the American Ballet Theatre Studio Company in New York, the Royal Ballet in London, and even on the Got Talent franchise. His talent is undeniable, his artistry is breathtaking, and as a dancer myself, I can really appreciate that. Yet, what I didn't expect, I was so pleasantly surprised that this individual has some soulful depth beneath it all. And he is someone that his path is not only about movement on stage, but about movement of the spirit within. And it's such a joy to have him here today. He is truly one of the most charming people I have ever met. Please welcome Aaron Smyth to the show.
Oh my goodness, Kristen, thank you so much. That was a fantastic opening. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Oh my gosh.
Your gorgeous podcast.
Oh my gosh. Well, you're so welcome. I have been a big fan of yours for a long time. And then when I came across you doing spiritual work, I was like, oh my God, I hope he'll do my podcast. So I'm so excited to have you here. So your journey has taken you from the world's top ballet companies and the world's biggest stages to now you're doing things like designing tarot card decks. So can you talk about where you started, where your journey started with dance, and then what transpired to lead you to your own spiritual awakening?
Yes, wow. I know it's definitely been a journey, and the fool's journey at that, especially with the tarot cards and astrology that I'm into now as well, and incorporating them both. I feel like there can be something new to discover through that. But yeah, I'm originally from Australia. I grew up on the Gold Coast, and I always was very athletic and wanted to do anything that I remember hanging from the goalpost when my mum put me in soccer, and I was always wanting to be creative and doing, just doing things. So, I started dancing because of my sister. Like, I feel like a lot of people, brother and sisters, they always have that like kind of dance dynamic. So I remember when I was 8 years old, my mum said, okay, well, let's just see that. Let's add one more thing to, to go to dance. So then I knew from that moment I wanted to do this for the rest of my life. And I remember sewing the sequins onto my costume, and then my mom was like, oh, we better take this more seriously. And then so we did. And then I started ballet. I started with tap and jazz, and then I did ballet, and then I left to go to New York when I was 17. And I kind of haven't stopped traveling since. I've lived in New York, the American Ballet Theatre Studio Company, the Royal Ballet in London, and then the Joffrey Ballet in Chicago. And then I've done Broadway, West End. And I'm actually about to go to Switzerland as well to do an American in Paris. So I've just been juggling. I've been dancing a lot of my life, but then I've also been open. My spirituality has opened, and I launched a brand called Zodiac Threads, which infuses tarot and astrology. And I read astrology charts, and I've got my own tarot deck that I kind of got a local artist to design, and I'm selling them kind of worldwide as well. So it's just been, I was always an intuitive, very kind of just interested in spirituality. I didn't know, but I feel like I was channeling it through my dancing. It was kind of like a healing. Dancing has been such a healing element for me. So it was just, and I love the way that you worded it in the beginning. It's like, wow, I'm going within now to move. And it's just been such an incredible journey. I would never in my wildest dreams thought I would be doing like this spiritual path too.
Oh my gosh. So you said that dance has been incredibly healing. And I'm going to have to link some of the videos of you dancing, because I mean, you are a like jaw-dropping, phenomenal dancer.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So incredible. And so I guess my first question is it easy for it to be healing when it's so physically demanding on you and you're there, I think you're doing the Nutcracker now, you're prepping for the
Yeah.
Nutcracker now, right? I mean,
Yes.
I've done the Nutcracker myself. I don't necessarily feel like I've been able to physically express myself when I'm doing other people's choreography, but I do think when you can put your own choreography to share something about yourself out there, that's really where it becomes healing. So how has it been healing for you when you're very much in a very commercial space?
It's actually a really great question. I feel like I've kind of struggled with that for years as well. Doing in a ballet company and an institution, shall we say, that you have to adopt to what they want. And some choreographers or some ballets can be healing, but some can be a real grind.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I feel like because I'm more freelance artist now and I get to pick and choose again, I guess what I want to do and I've been doing this for a long, long time. So it feels like I love creating and producing new works too. And the most healing thing that I've honestly ever done was I produced and created one night only show called Dance for Humanity. And proceeds went to 2 local charities on the Gold Coast in Australia. So again, that was a very healing, and I got to choose the pieces that I wanted to do. But again, it hasn't always been like that. I feel like it's like a double-edged sword. But healing, just doing it for yourself, and even just I go to classes now instead of not wanting to be seen or wanting to be like just that the audition grind and hustle and the industry can be kind of overwhelming. And I feel like overwhelming for people that really are sensitive and feel things. So I try to go in with just doing it for me. And that's a good mindset, especially I know there's, with mental health, there's so many issues around today around mental health and social media and adopting a healthy. I just feel like I had to, during COVID, I didn't even dance for a year because I needed to break from it and I'm always come back and reinvent myself, to be honest. So it's kind of like a juggle, but I feel like if I have to get into a good headspace with that. But again, to answer your question, yeah, it's different. It's different on the choreographer or the ballet or the dance. But yeah, when I'm doing what I want to do and feel what feels good, then it can be really healing.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about, maybe give us a peek behind the curtain, so to speak, about what professional dance is like? Because I wouldn't consider myself a professional dancer by any means, but I know enough to know what I think it's like. Well, first of all, dancers have to be, especially ballet, I want to say, like there's specific physique that they look for. Maybe it's changed, but I know when I was younger, there was a lot of specificity there.
Yeah.
And it's just really hard on your body that way. But also, I mean, we've seen Black Swan and what that's like, that movie. But also, your feet, if you're doing point for women, I mean, bloody toes, toenails falling off, like it's a difficult, very physically demanding work. And so what's it been like for you doing all of that?
Yeah, it's incredibly, I feel like it's kind of one of the only like art forms that, or even just like genre of a career that really is so like athletic, but also like art. It's art and it's artistry. And it's just like the level of athleticism is like an Olympian or a sport. And that's why I feel like people are like, yes, it's a sport, or no, it's a sport. It's so demanding and so like taxing on the body, emotionally and spiritually and physically. So again, it's every dancer or every artist's journey is so different. For me, yeah, I just loved it so much and it was such a passion and I had so much drive that I was willing, and I've got an insane amount of discipline. And especially with ballet, you have to have that. So I really loved it. I love working hard. I love putting my body through stress, and knock wood, I haven't actually had any injuries. I've always known when to like cool it or, push forward. I've obviously been in a lot of pain, but for me, I mean, lucky as a male, we don't have to go on the point shoes, but I can't imagine what the girls have to go through. And body image too. I always remember back in the day, my ballet teachers put me on diets and the watermelon diet, like crazy. Just like, just like crazy. You obviously can't do that now. But just like, and I saw a lot of my classmates go through a lot of pain. But again, lots of things are changing. It's really nice to see the industry, change what body image and body shape you have to be for ballet, which is really, really lovely to see. But still, there's a long way to go, I feel like, with the industry to like shift and change to accommodate what, the soul needs right now. And like, so for mental health but it's nice to see a lot of change, but I feel like, we have a long way to go. But physically, I think you either love it or you don't. And you really have to love the dance. Like, it's just a passion. It was an absolute passion for me. So I was like, oh, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Did you have like a calling, or did you know when you started dancing, this is what you were meant to do?
Yeah, speaking of this is why I love astrology so much. So my mum had an astrology friend, and I have a Leo stellium, and that's the charisma comes out and the performer. So I just need to perform, whatever that is. So we would go around to my mum's friends and she would read our charts all the time. That's when I got really interested in it. And reading, if you're feeling a bit lost or what is my calling, go get your chart read, because it can give you multiple pathways to, what are you interested in? Like, it would give you here is a template of what to do next. So I feel like knowing that, I just like in my bones, I just knew it. Like, I would go to dance and then I would come home and dance more. Like, again, I would so my mum was like, okay, he's very driven. So again, I just knew it. I just like, I would just love it so much.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It just, you remind me of when I was young, and like, I was somebody who my mom pushed to dance, and I think I showed some talent young, but I did, there was something about it that I just didn't really enjoy. I don't know if it was like having to leave Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
Like, or if it was putting on those uncomfortable tights, or the fact that my dance teacher was kind of mean. Like, I just didn't love it. But my mom pushed me because I had some talent. And then when I stopped, everybody else got good. Yeah. And then I tried to get back into it again. And I just like those crucial years of the practice, it really caught up with me. And so it's a shame, but like, I guess if you don't feel that passion to do something, then maybe it's not your path.
Yeah, exactly. Well, my sister she did it for fun, but again, she didn't have the passion for dance, the passion and the discipline that is required to make it. So she was like, okay, I was like, this is too, like, again, people just like, this is too hard, because it's so challenging and it's a hard path. It's a hard path, but I'm so grateful that I was able to do that, make a career out, because only so few do. And again, I really had great support from my mom, and I honestly couldn't have done it without her, So I think there's so many factors as well. So it's like, oh my God. So it just really is, a lot of factors too. Yeah.
There are a lot of factors. And, I also knew people who they were willing to put in the work, but they just didn't have the natural talent.
Yeah.
And, and that's like a shame too. So it's like, you almost have to have both things, and they have to marry out perfectly in order to work out.
So many things. Yeah. So many things have to align for it to really blossom and work out. So it's like, wow.
Yeah.
It's interesting one.
Well, moving on to more spiritual conversations. So I'm curious, you mentioned that you had a natural intuitive gift. Can you talk a little bit about how you figured that out, and how it led you to where you are today with tarot and with astrology?
Great question. Well, vision comes to mind. I was dressed, it was like my sister's birthday party. I think it was 6 or something. And I was dressed as this little fairy. I was like a cute little fairy just going around. I just felt like I could see, I don't know. It's a very big, and I was like, I just feel like I'm a magician in a way. Like I feel I'm the magician card in my tarot deck, and it feels like I do a lot of things. I wear a lot of hats. So I look at that, and at that moment I was like, oh, I remember seeing things around that, like, just being able to see things. But it wasn't until, I guess, I was channeling a lot through my dancing, and just like that feeling and expressing a lot through dance. And then I got to a moment, my mum and my grandmother was pretty witchy and woo-woo. So I remember them like doing the Ouija board when we were kids. And like, it's just like, I don't really do that, but it was always like, oh, wow, what's this? And then like mum would have her friends bring tarot cards around. I was kind of like, oh, what's that? Blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't until like when I was 23 that I kind of had a meltdown, not only a midlife crisis, but just like a moment of like, well, I know there's more out there. And my friend got me a life coach. Her life coach was amazing. This was in Australia. And I got my cards read and she really was like, and I was like, whoa, I'm like, what is this? This is like, what is spirituality? What is this? I kind of always knew there was like a higher power and whatever you believe in, it's like whatever you're drawn to is, everyone's individual and different. But I just always knew there was that. And then it was like, oh, wow, I found kind of spirituality in a way. And she kind of just guided me through that. And I started from that moment, I was like hooked. Like everything's energy and possibilities and that. And then it wasn't until like went back to London and I started getting into tarot and like got my own deck and really just like shuffling the cards and doing lots of readings for friends and family. I soaked up as much knowledge into as well. A good family friend really said, you looked at my chart and said, you really probably are really good at this. And I'm like, oh, because astrology is really challenging to learn. It's like you look at it and you're like, you get it or you do. It's like maths and I'm terrible at maths. So I then she started just sending me astrology tips and stuff. And then I learned in that. And I did a dozen courses in tarot. And especially during COVID, I really leaned into it. And then it also was like, I'm a dancer. I'm not, you want me to do tarot? Like, I'm not going to do that. I was like, I'm not going to do this. And I had a lot of readers and I would always see a lot of psychics throughout the years and like, oh, you're going to do this. I'm like, no, I'm not. And then it came to a point where I was like, oh, far out. I just have to do like this. I have to share this gift, I guess. And honestly, it's the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. It's just like helping people, reading. And it just all goes in. It really all just goes. It's like it just all connects. It all connects. So it's like a dance. And from there, I started, a TikTok and then I have clients all over the world now. And I do events. I've done, tarot and wine nights. I've done conventions. and connecting with brands now. And it's just like, it's opening up doors that I never thought I would. So, and then I love designing decks. I've got an affirmation deck as well, which is less woo-woo. And I've got the tarot deck, so you can go and use that. But yeah, it's just such a, I know, I love it so much. And to creating like a business or a brand out of it is just really, really cool. Because I've tried a lot of things. I've had a yoga studio with my sister. I used to have a dancewear line. I've been very entrepreneurial in my life. Things never really, they didn't go or like work, but I look at that as like, oh, it's business school in a way. And it's led me maybe to this moment because I've created a lot of things in my life and this one really seems to be kind of like sticking. So it just feels really amazing because I've had a lot of like, again, failures, I guess. Yeah.
Or learning even just opportunities.
Learning opportunities. It's all been learning. It's been growing. So I really, I appreciate the journey, even though it's been really challenging sometimes. But it kind of has led me to this moment.
Wow. So I was going to ask you, you enjoy both tarot and astrology. Do you do them separately or do you weave them together somehow? How do you work typically?
Yeah, great question. I normally do. I love the cards and I feel like I offer both options. So if people want to get their cards read, they can book into that, or astrology if they want to get their chart as well. There's an option for that. But primarily I do weave astrology in the major arcana cards. There are some cards that are in alignment with the sign. So the strength card in tarot is the sign of Leo. The lovers card is Gemini. So again, in my readings, I'm like, oh, you're a Gemini, or that it would normally be, oh yeah, I am, or is your partner this, or I kind of use like the King of Wands, are you a fire sign? So again, they would be like, yes. So it's interesting to see, the collaboration with tarot and astrology. But I'm more, I would say, tarot reader. That's where I'm kind of like known on my channel.
Yeah.
But I would say that I do have a lot of people asking for astrology advice and even teaching. I even taught this summer 5-week Learn the Tarot course with me, which is really cool. It was a big kind of leap of faith, but I had about 7 students. So it was really, really cool. So we met every Sunday, and that was just such a joy to see their confidence. And they were just doing it for fun or self-discovery. There was a few that went on to, being professional. So from that, and creating businesses and being the CEO of their life. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. I would love to take a class with you. Are you offering any currently?
I'm not, but I just I'm recording a series for maybe a school or even just to have a community that can have access to these videos. But I think every summer I will do a 5-6 week course, because it was so much fun just diving into the cards, and I think I will offer that again next year, or even if there's a demand for it, absolutely. So always learning, always trying to create new ways of learning and seeing. I know that it's getting so popular now, so it's so exciting. Like I even saw, I was in London, Harrods, there was this big constellation astrology. All the brands are having astrology or tarot card themed, elements to their brand. So it's really taking shape.
That's incredible. So when you think about your thriving dance career, I mean, I think it's like a lot of professional sports, as you get older, it's difficult to continue it. So how do you envision your life going? Do you think you'll go more into choreography, or do you think you see yourself doing more of the spiritual work?
Great question. I kind of have been wondering that. I'm kind of letting it to the universe. I was almost ready to hang up my shoes, but then in comes the job. So it's almost like I have to teach what I preach, or preach what I teach, or teach what I preach, because it really is about surrendering and letting it happen. I love it so much. It is. I'm becoming to an age too that it's, do we transition? But I feel like if I can have just the love for the art form and be grateful for any opportunity that comes my way. I am doing more musicals now too, so you can do that for a lot longer. And ballet is very, strenuous on the body. So we'll see, even if it's just being involved in Always a Nutcracker, which I love. The Nutcracker brings me so much joy every year because I love Christmas. So I've done choreography. I wouldn't say that let's go into choreography. I've never been that kind of dancer. I know a lot of others are, and they're incredible at it. I wouldn't say I would go down that path, but never say never. I've always loved creating, producing maybe my own show that could involve some spiritual elements. Stay tuned. And I think that would be really fun. Again, using spirituality and dance, I think there can be such a healing element to that. But I guess stay tuned on that. I'm kind of always in my mind figuring out what that next step is. And I don't think I need to. I always loved film and television as well. Who doesn't? But we'll see. We'll see what everyone wants to be on TV and film. But I know I've always loved being on a lot of fun sets in my life, and it's always very magical to create film and stuff. So let's see. Yeah, we'll see where the universe takes me. Yeah.
What film have you done? You've done a few dance movies, right?
Yeah, I've done a few. I did The Nutcracker and the Four Realms, which was a big Disney movie. And I played the Snow Cavalier, and it was just Morgan Freeman, Keira Knightley was in that, Mackenzie Foy, Misty Copeland, who just retired from American Ballet Theatre. That was a really big pinch me moment. It was just so magical, and being on a beautiful Disney film was, again, just pure magic. It was just pure magic. I was in the Elvis. That was actually during COVID. It was during COVID, and literally 10 minutes from my house on the Gold Coast. And I've done a few TV shows, and again, the Got Talent franchise. I came third in Australia and the quarterfinals in America. So I've done a lot of, So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that was really, 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 really fun. So I've been like the magician. I've been pulled in a lot of different directions. So I've got to really live, I guess.
I mean, there's so many spiritual ties to dance. I mean, you can see it in the cultures like Native Americans and Hindus and African tribes. I mean, they all bring they all bring dance elements to their spiritual practices. There's got to be a way to incorporate it more in the, the more mainstream, the more commercial. There's got to be a way to blend it. I feel like I see you blending these two, like all of these modalities into something really new and different. I feel like that's where you might go.
Thank you. Thank you for telling that. Yeah, I've had a lot of people say, or even just like, again, psychics or even astrologers have just said like, you're gonna blend them. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, it was like, when you just don't know in that moment, it's like, okay, guys. But
You'll figure it out.
I'm figuring it out. I can see it. I can see it now. I can see the vision. But yeah, I think that would be really fun and healing. And I think it's so needed right now on planet Earth right now. But again, I do love every culture does have their own dance, and it's so beautiful to see. I love it so much.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, I know you'll find a balance, and that's interesting that other people say that they see you blending all of these modalities into one down the road too. So maybe it is my intuition telling me that.
Absolutely.
So I guess I'll finish today with a few final questions that I ask all my guests. Reflecting on our conversation, what's one takeaway that you hope our listeners remember about the connection between dance, movement, the work that you do, tarot, astrology? What do you want people to take away from all of this work?
I guess following your bliss. I listened to a wonderful spiritual teacher. I'm sure you've all heard of her, Abraham Hicks. She really does say that. Just when you follow your bliss, you just know that you're on the right path, and you're never on the wrong path. But again, if it feels good, go with it. And I feel like I've only just followed that. I've definitely followed not feeling good, and it doesn't feel good. So when you do feel good, and I think life always teaches us what we like and what we don't like. So then we go more forward to what we do like. So you're always like, it's always a learning and a growing, and feel like this, Earth school, we're here to learn. So I guess I would say that what came to me is just like, follow your bliss and you really can't go wrong. Obviously there'll be twists and turns, but I always say like, you're always on the yellow brick road. I like to see life as like the yellow brick road. Just follow the yellow brick road and you'll find your way.
That was really beautifully said.
Oh, thank you.
One thing that I didn't get a chance to ask you before, I meant to, and it had slipped my mind, but I wanted to go back to tarot because I don't know that it's fully understood what it is. I know obviously there's cards, but can you just explain for people who are really new to it, like what they are, how they work, and how you use them?
Yes. So my goodness, tarot's been around for centuries. And even back in the day, like they would use the cards to kind of, I wouldn't say predict, but it's about seeing the energy. And what I love about the cards is they give an actual visual representation of what you're feeling maybe within. And I've had really first time people just being like, wow, like how is that so accurate? How is that so dead on? It's because it's all about the archetypes and the imagery. The major arcana, which is about big spiritual lessons. It's like the famous death card, the world, the magician, the high priestess, these big spiritual lesson cards. They can really paint a picture with the minor arcana, which is more like day to day. They have the suits, they have the wands, the cups, the swords, and the pentacles. So that really paints a picture of the day to day with the major arcana. So it's 78 cards. So there is a lot of cards in the deck, but it does paint a picture of what's going on within. And I like to think of it as storytelling, and I like to, it's not, this is going to happen to you. It's not like a psychic prediction, although it can be a conduit for that. But I do feel like it's almost like, how do we get you from A to B to C? And especially if you've got a lot of decisions on your mind, it's a great tool. It's just a great tool. I've had people say, I just like to use it as a tool. Maybe in 20 years, I might be super, super psychic and don't need them anymore, but I just like having them as a tool. And then you can use your intuition. And obviously there's meanings in the cards, but the biggest thing is, what does your intuition say when you look at that picture? What comes out to you? It might be different for everyone, but that's what I like to teach. And there is, and if you're drawn to it, there's obviously, your intuition. I'm drawn to the tarot. A lot of people are drawn to oracle cards, but I've always just been like really, really drawn to it. And it's quite frankly changed my life.
I know you have your tarot deck right next to you.
Yeah, I do.
Would you mind, you're
Yeah.
kind of famous for this on
Oh
TikTok
my
for
God, I'm a
pulling the
TikTok.
card. Would you
Yeah.
mind pulling a
Should we?
card for us today and the
Yeah,
audience?
I love that. Let's pull a card. Oh my God, let's do a 3-card pull for the collective.
Ooh,
Whoever's listening to
great.
this today, it'll be interesting too, especially if anyone in the comments be like, oh my goodness, this is happening for us. So let's just see what's coming up. I just like to give it a good shuffle.
And the cards, they're beautiful, by the way. I know you mentioned it earlier. You worked with a local artist on these.
I did. Yes, I did. And it took 5 years. 5 years to make. And again, like they were all hand drawn, all 78 cards.
Beautiful.
So finding, but it's such a creative process too, with like finding a manufacturer and writing. It comes with a cute little guidebook. So I had to write all the meanings. And it really takes some time, but it's been such a labor of love. Okay, so we've chosen 3 cards here. We've got Judgment, the Queen of Wands, which I feel you are, and everyone here is. The Queen, how beautiful is the Queen of Wands? I feel like we all are in the energy of the Queen of Wands. And the Lovers, this was all about love, following your heart. Oh, this is wild. So I feel like for everyone here, it really is all about, so Judgment is all about this most spiritual card too, a spiritual awakening. So we might have all had a kind of spiritual awakening today. And it really does, like there are endings and new beginnings. So when you are going through it, like maybe an ending, just know that there is a new beginning on the horizon, and it's Judgment Day is here. The next card would be the World. So you're almost at that finish line. So don't quit before the miracle. I also feel like with Judgment, it does feel like not to be so hard on yourself and judge yourself and judge your journey. So it just feels like let go. The universe wouldn't put you in this situation if it wasn't going to be better on the other side. So just trust that. Trust in your power. The Queen of Wands is all about, intuition, but also being a leader of your creations and your creativity. Podcast, just being the creator of your life, but in a very intuitive way, which is so interesting. And then the Lovers is just saying you choosing to love yourself, choosing to choose love, choosing loving partnerships. This could be a lot of maybe you getting into business or a partnership with someone or love coming into your life. But again, it is when you choose love and you choose from the heart, the universe rewards you, and you leading with love is the highest vibration. So I feel like it's a very uplifting spread here. It just feels like exactly kind of what the energy we were kind of talking about today. So
yes.
How does that feel? Yeah.
That feels great.
Yeah.
I really feel aligned and connected with a lot of that. And we did talk a lot about following your path and passion. So by the way, everybody, if you are sad that you're not getting to see the cards and what they look like, please watch the YouTube channel because we will have this on YouTube as well.
So fun.
But thank you so much for doing that. That was so nice. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's kind of fun, isn't it?
It's fun. It was such a good poll. Okay. So getting back to the final 2 questions. If someone's just beginning to explore their own creativity and spiritual practice, what advice would you offer them?
Oh gosh, with following your bliss, I would say the advice, yes. Like, again, it's very cliche, but it's just like the bravest thing you can do in this world is be yourself, even though it's woo-woo. But again, it's brave to be yourself, right? It's brave to be like, it takes a lot of courage, a lot of faith, a lot of like, I chose ballet and like different, there's like, again, I'm not mainstream at all. Like it's so very different kind of like careers or hobbies, or I chose 2 of the most, out of the box kind of careers. But again, the rewards have been outrageous because of just me just being brave enough to put myself out there. And, so again, no matter if it feels wacky or woo-woo or people don't support it, I would just say that, just be brave. Put yourself out there. If you're interested in any, subject, can be weird or wacky, just do it. Do it with your heart. Again, what the cards say, do it with your heart and be the leader of your life, because we only get this one life and it goes really fast. There's no time to waste.
No time to waste.
Yeah.
Oh, that was such good advice. Thank you. Our last question for you today is, what does it mean to you to live life consciously?
I guess the word, what does it mean to live free? Free. It's just freeing. It feels.
Mhm.
I think the word free comes to mind. Connected, nothing to prove. Again, living consciously means flow to me. Living in
Mm.
flow, living in balance, living in harmony. Uh, and again, when you live consciously, I feel like you're living connected to your higher power, higher self. And I think
Mhm.
I've experienced not living consciously, and the alternative, like that is not no, we can't, not going backwards. And I feel like once you flip the switch, that's the only path really forward, isn't
Yeah.
it? I don't know if you've experienced, you probably have, but it just feels like really, I want to
Yeah.
live consciously and connected now. Yeah, moving forward.
Let's talk about that, what it
Mm.
looks like when you're not, because I think that that's really important. Can you tell me what that was like for you? And I'll share what it was like for
Yeah,
me.
I guess even just like with friendship groups as well, just like they're
Mhm.
not really, and there's no judgment. It's just like you're on a different path and you're like, oh, I just don't like the way I feel. And it just feels like really, it feels heavy. Even just being in environments that you're like, I don't need to be here. I'd rather be at home protecting my peace.
Mhm.
And again, it's just like a feeling. And I feel like I'd rather be even just people pleasing. I've learned, just being, no, I don't, putting up boundaries and stuff. And I think that has a lot to do with it as well, just protecting yourself. And it's okay to say no, and it's okay to put up boundaries. But I guess I feel like mine is just, I felt like I just didn't like the feeling of what the decisions that I was making because I was maybe people pleasing or not being connected to or conscious. But when I found like I was conscious, I was like, oh, I'm really in my
Yeah.
power and can be quite powerful, a powerful creator. And I preferred being in that lane other than the other lane. And I guess
Yeah.
it's always about learning and growing.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
Mm,
power. I think I liked what you said there. Yeah, it's this feeling of feeling powerless.
mm,
It's like that you're a slave to the life that you feel stuck in. You feel like the world, this is how the world works, and you just got to go to work and you got to do this and da 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 da, and
yeah,
it's like you're just going through the motions, and then you like kind of wake up one day and you realize, like, is this what I have to look forward to all my life? Like, this
yeah.
is terrible.
This
like
is
like
terrible.
you
Yeah.
know and then one day you wake up to this realization that there is more out there if
Uh-huh.
you didn't even realize it was there.
Yeah.
You hoped it was there
Yeah.
were things
Yeah.
out there, but I don't know. I just didn't think it was attainable. And so now I'm starting to realize, like, there's more that I can have than I realized I even thought I could. So
Yeah.
it's just like a little snippet of it. There's
Yeah.
so much more to it, but yeah, that powerlessness, it's just yeah, that's a scary feeling.
Yeah, I agree. And even just being my journey through ballet companies or, being anyone, like going to a 9 to 5 or something, just being powerless. And
Mhm.
I felt a lot of that kind of energy. I had to do it and I loved it so much being a part of, ballet companies and going to work and having that, but being freelance, being my own kind of like boss or being my own creator or being a creator
Mhm.
has really made me felt more powerful and in my decisions and being more conscious. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting.
Yeah. Conscious
Yeah.
creators we
Conscious
are.
creators. Yeah, it's conscious creators. I love it.
Oh, we should start a club.
Yeah. Clarity, conscious creators. Yeah.
Well, Aaron, you are such a delight. Like,
Oh, thank you.
just watching you on your TikToks, just having you here in my presence, you feel so good. Your energy feels
Oh,
great. Thank you so
thank,
much for this. I really
oh,
appreciate it. I
you're
adore you.
welcome. To you too. Thank you, Chris. Thank you again for having me on. And I'm excited for your channel, this podcast to grow and evolve. And it's all divine timing. So I just feel like it's a lot of magic in the air. So cheers to
Yeah.
that.
Cheers to that. And thank you so much for being here. But also, I have to just tell everybody that, he does readings. Actually, I forgot to mention that I had a reading.
Booked
You
in a reading?
helped me with my astrology, but also placements on a map and where there were places on this earth that are
Yep.
actually good for me astrologically
Yep.
versus others. And so that was a really interesting reading that I hadn't seen before. So I highly recommend that people work with you.
Thank
You're
you.
fantastic. And if for everybody that's listening, if today's conversation resonated with you, you can find Aaron and his amazing performances linked below. As a reminder, Zodiac Threads and the aaronsmyth.com.
Perfect.
And also, I can't wait to purchase your tarot cards, even just to have them. I just think they're so beautiful. So
thank you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for listening to the Clarity to Consciousness podcast. I appreciate it so much. I'm Kristen Lee Griffiths. Until next time, stay curious, live consciously, and keep seeking clarity. Much love. Bye for now.
Bye.
Before we part ways, I want to express my deepest gratitude to each and every one of you for tuning in. Your curiosity and openness make this journey all the more meaningful. As we navigate the realms of consciousness together, please follow our podcast for more captivating conversations. If you enjoyed what you heard, why not share the love, rate and review on your favorite platform, and help us reach more seekers on this enlightening path. And hey, the conversation doesn't end here. Dive into the show notes for additional insights, resources, and details about today's discussion. Your journey to clarity continues beyond this episode. Thank you so much for being a part of the Clarity to Consciousness community. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the boundless possibilities of your consciousness. Take care and much love to you all.